Monastic martyr Mikhaila Ivanovna Ivanova was born in 1867 in the village of Ivanova of Rusa County of Moscow province to a peasant's family. In her youth, she retired to the convent of Our Lady of Kazan in the village of Golovino, which was founded in 1876 by Moscow merchant Nikita Ignatievich Sidorov. At the beginning of the 20th century, there were more than 70 nuns and novices there. After militant godless people came to power, the convent was closed, and their sanatorium was made, but the nuns did not leave their monastery. Novice Marfa stayed in the village of Golovino, going to former monastery church to pray, and worked as a dishwasher. In this way she lived there 5 years, until the authorities began to dismiss nuns and novices from the sanatorium, and many of them had to settle in the nearest villages or move to Moscow. The constitution of the year 1936 declared about the freedom of worship, while the majority of the faithful were to be executed. The witnesses of those persecutions say that each old lady who went to a church was noticed by OGPU officers for future oppressions, but monasteries and monks were the main obstacle for the godless. It is known that monks were buried into the ground alive. Monks had to bear severe tortures, but they denied neither God nor their monastic vows. In those conditions, the monks who survived after the closing of the monasteries did not deny their monastic faith, but continued to live as monks in the world secretly. They did not deny their monastic vows of celibacy, non-possession, and obedience. They gathered in private flats to serve secret liturgies and take monastic vows. At that time, the spiritual father of Marfa, as well as of many other nuns and novices of Golovitsky convent, was Archimandrite Ambrose Astachov, who settled in the village of Aksinino of Krasnogorsk district of Moscow region after monasteries were closed. In the beginning of 1930s, he made Marfa Ivanovna a nun with the name Mikhaila. She already had the experience of monastic life and became a strict and devout nun, known by the faithful for her righteous way of life. Schema nun Mikhaila was arrested on the 26th of August 1937, when the most cruel persecutions of the Russian Orthodox Church began. Several days later, she was questioned. One of the attendant witnesses told NKVD officers that Schema nun Mikhaila was known among her admirers as blissful and penetrating, while her flat indeed was a secret church, where there were secret liturgies, and people secretly took monastic vows. She said that there were persecutions of religion and clergy, that people were arrested, exiled, and executed without any guilt, and people died from hunger and cold. At her flat there was a shelter for popes and monks who returned from their exile. Everyone who participated in secret liturgies and taking monastic vows knew their fate, but like the first Christians, new martyrs fearlessly faced their death, understanding the immortality of human soul and the reward that was awaiting for them in the heavens. All these people were oppressed. Schema nun Mikhaila was accused in gathering the faithful in her flat, in participation in secret liturgies, and taking monastic vows. On the 8th of October 1937, the NKVD Troika sentenced Schema nun Mikhaila to death penalty. Schema nun Mikhaila was executed on the 11th of October 1937 on Butva firing range area near Moscow and buried in the unmarked mass grave. On the 31st of July 1989, Marfa Ivanovna Ivanova was rehabilitated by the prosecutor's office of Moscow region. Schema nun Mikhaila was canonized as a holy martyr and confessor of Russia by the decree of the Holy Synod on the 7th of May 2003.